Hi, this is Eric here, and in this tutorial we're going to be going through invoice payments and statements and what to do when a customer is in credit, so a credit note. So first of all, with invoice payments, there's three ways of making an invoice marked off as paid. And the most recommended way is to do it after importing a bank statement from the internet in the cash book. So let's do that first. So we'll go into the cash book. We'll pretend that we've just imported these three transactions, and usually in the notes it gives you some idea of who it's from. So the first one, if you click down here, these boxes, remember, are like an extension of the line that you're on. So if I click there, between these two lines it shows all the transactions that exactly match that amount there. So 850 Colonial Cottages, check that the category is correct. So that is now marked off as paid. And if we double click down here, we can check that it's correct. So it's marked off as paid. Next we've got Omega Computers. Now the tricky thing with them is that they paid two invoices with one payment, and we need to make the cash book match your bank statement on a line-by-line basis. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this into a split, and you can also select it up there, but anyway, I'll select it here, and then I'll select the two payments from Omega Computers, click on the next line, there you go, that's the two payments, and 8119 is the same as the amount that we received down there, so it all looks good. And so that's that one done. Then next, for Catworks, they paid $1,000, but the invoice was for $1,500. So let's mark that off. You aren't paying the full amount, are you sure? Yes. Check that it's correct. So now the part payment is allocated against that invoice, and if we double click, you'll see it's 155,250, but they've paid off 1,000. So that's the first way of marking off invoices as paid. Now let's go to the second way. Delete these first. Now the second way is for people that use the invoicing system but not the cash book. So they want to just pay off the invoices from inside the invoicing system. So if I go to invoicing, outstanding, and the first one was Colonial Cottages, so go into that. If I double click down here, it inserts the full amount. It says post to cash book. Yes, that all looks okay. Post it. And now this is marked off as paid. Then the second one was Omega Computers, and that one I'll do the same, and Omega Computers, that one, do the same, and the last one was for Catworks, and they only paid 1,000. So I'll type that down there and post that through, and so that's 1,000 out of the 1,500 paid. Now if we look at the cash book, we've just paid off 4 invoices. Now these two are from Omega Computers, and we really want these two to be combined into a split because we want every line in the cash book to match every line in the bank statement. So if I go right click, merge with, and the line above, now it's merged these two lines into a split, And if we double click, there we go, we can see the two transactions for Omega computers. Okay, so that's the second way done for paying off invoices. Let's delete them again. Okay, so now we're going to do the last method, which is to use the payments received screen. So payments received, and I'll just do the one that made a split. Omega computers as the first payment. Omega computers, that's the second payment. And then if we submit it to the cash book, now it's going to put all of these transactions into one split, submit. And now if we go to the cash book, there's the split with the two Omega computers payments. And next time you do a bank statement import, that'll automatically be ticked. So that's the three ways of paying off an invoice. Now the next thing we're going to look at is statements. And like for Colonial Cottages, if I want to send them a statement, I just hit email. Do you want to send it as an email where it's in the body of the email or as an attachment in a PDF? I'll just send it as in the body of the email. There you go. And you can also preview it if you want. So there it is. And that's basically statements. Then the last thing I'm going to cover off is credit notes, which is when someone either overpays an invoice or pays in advance, or if there's a dispute about an invoice amount and you need to basically write off part of an invoice. Okay, so with a credit note, what you do is you start off as though you're going to make an invoice. And then you make the price negative. Sorry, I forgot to make it negative. There you go, negative. And then you email it. Now it's come up with a message box to ask, is this for invoice numbers? Like, so if someone's only paying, if they're disputing part of the invoice and they're not going to pay the full invoice amount, then you need to give them a credit for the amount that they're not paying. Or if it doesn't apply to any invoice, just put in the number 0, which is what it says over there. So I'll just say it's for the number 0. Send the email. And now this customer is in credit. And if we'll have a look at that, you'll see it showing a credit note for $57.50. Then next time you have an invoice for Colonial Cottages and you send it and you email it or print it, then it'll ask you if you want to use that credit as a part payment for the invoice, and then you say yes, I do, and then you also send a statement to the customer, and then the customer will see that it's part paid. So there you go, that's invoice payments, and hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next tutorial. See ya, bye.